Yo, yo, yo. You know, I got to do a quick check. Got to make sure I don't sound like a robot before we get the show started. But what's the one thing, and I mean the one thing, that keeps the 49ers from getting to the Super Bowl and accomplishing that victory? It's the quarterback. We're going to talk about that right here on the WayneBreezie Show because Kyle Shanahan left everybody with something to think about. Let's get right down to it, baby. Stick around.
Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Breezy this, breezy that. Ain't nobody working like Breezy, and that's a fact. Overmotivated is an understatement. Gold-blooded to the core, got your squad hating. Breezy make it look easy. Breezy on everything like 05, 067 Wheezy. This is not a gang. Yeah, we faithful in every way. And even though we on the East Coast, very loyal to the Bay. Heavy red and gold every day. And if you really a Niner fan, I know you can relate. Applying pressure with this content like Smaller Bear. We not accepting no slander about Trey, so beware. I stay in exclusively Niner hats. And I always tell the truth, this exclusively Niner facts. Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Yeah. Breezy this.
What's going on? It's your boy WayneBreezie. Hey, I tell you what, before we get this show started, let's just do a quick check. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure everybody's in here. Let me know, do I sound like a robot? If I sound like a robot, let me know. I'm going to have to hit the refresher. GSU for life. Welcome to the show. That intro was 1 minute and 30 seconds, maybe even 2. Jacqueline says I'm good, so we're gonna rock out. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy. It's good to be back, man. I've been in Alabama, just like my brain's moving like clockwork, y'all. It's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm out here talking to some of these young players, watching them play live, trying to get some footage and some film so you guys can see how they're working out there. I'm going to give you some of my Senior Bowl picks that I have right now that I really feel really high on. Some of these kids are going to go high in the draft. I'm trying to cater those to the 49ers that may be able to fall in that third round or whatnot. These are just seniors, and some of them are really good. They're going to go in the top first round. Some of them might slide to the second, depending on the position that they pick. But welcome to the show. Shout out to all the members of the channel. You know, if you're a member, you would have to join. And we have a new member, and we're going to start out with my man, the Joker. Joker's in the building. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. All right, it's the first member of the day. Let's see if we can get up to 5 members today. Don't forget to hit that like button while you're in here. And shout out to Ms. Knox, aka Jacqueline Knox. She says, Jacqueline wants to say, hey, faithful, I'm in great mood, and I hope you ladies and gentlemen have a great day, period. Jacqueline, thank you for the super chat contribution early. I appreciate you. Shout out to all the members out there, though. If you're a member, you know who you are. Raphael 562's in the building. Eddie Glover's in the building. All right, Troy is in the building. Mike, you finally became a member. I was like, what is taking Mike so long? You must be still a member of the other page, the other channel or whatever. But I appreciate you. Mike is in the building. You see Jacqueline is in the building. Shout out to all the members out there. If I missed you, my apologies. Joker, thank you for joining. Terrence is here. I see a bunch of subscribers. Marty Mars in here. Jerome, you've been in the house early on the show. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody on their memberships. My man Uncle Scott is definitely in the building. What's going on, baby? Woo, we got a long off season to get to. We got some nuggets to talk about on today's show. Shout out to all the subscribers of the channel as well. I truly appreciate you guys as well. Don't forget to hit that like button. All right, let's go ahead and get down to the Get Down, like, subscribe to the channel at the WayneBreezie or the YouTube link is right there below. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. All right. The WayneBreezie Show is a new podcast out there. It's doing really good. Thanks to you guys. If you guys like to listen to it on your drives, if you drive trucks, you drive cars, like to drive, you want to just put the show on. Here you go, man. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and I'm sure it's on some of the other ones. All right. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/WayneBreezie. There's going to be some Senior Bowl footage added this week. All right. I think I'm going to be meeting up with Johnny Dell today, so that's going to be pretty cool. Maybe we'll go live or something from Hancock Whitney Field. I don't know. We'll see how he's feeling. The weather is pretty weird out here in Alabama. Like, I can't even describe it. And shout out to our sponsors over there at Residency. Make sure you guys go ahead, www.residency.com, promo code SFBreezy. I will be meeting with them tomorrow on that exclusive Wayne Breezy cap. So stay on the lookout for that. And we're going to have some new t-shirts that have been designed by my man Ty. And those are going to be fire. So those are going to be up on the website very shortly, hopefully as early as next week. The website, if you guys don't remember, is www.twben.com. That's the WayneBreezie Entertainment Network. And that's where you're going to find some of the footage from the Senior Bowl. All right, man, I done checked in with everybody. It's good to be here. It's good to see you guys. It's good to be seen as well. Let's go ahead and get down to some of the stuff, man, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on. The presser happened. Let's start with some NFL news. I mean, I don't think anything else, man. I think this news is bigger than the Super Bowl. Yep, I said it. The news that we're about to talk about is bigger than the Super Bowl. What news am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about quarterback Tom Brady calling it quits. He's officially retired again. All right. And this time he says it's for good. Right? It's for good. Tom Brady's done, which is kind of like a breath of fresh air, because I'm gonna keep it a buck. As long as Tom Brady was willing to play football, I was gonna advocate him to be a 49er for 1 year. I just was. I was gonna try to figure out how we can get Tom Brady on this roster. He probably would play for dirt cheap. He would be back at home. I was gonna advocate it, but you know what? We did a whole show about that, I believe, on Tuesday, and we could just dead that in the water, because Tom Brady should be joining one of them TV broadcasting networks, probably Fox. I believe he's going to make $375 million for 10 years. I think that was the offer during the first retirement of last season. So we'll see what happens. I see a lot of people putting out some quarterbacks, some veteran quarterbacks. Let me see this. I see this by my man EMA Beats. Matt Ryan, a possible landing as a backup. Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. You heard Kyle Shanahan talk about it yesterday. He says that he has 2 starting quarterbacks here on the roster. I don't know if he's going to add a Matt Ryan as a veteran. And Matt Ryan was 20 times worse than Tom Brady last year. I'm not sure if we want Matt Ryan here as a backup. I think he's finally done. You know, when those quarterbacks get to that point where they just can't throw a ball and it look good anymore. Peyton Manning did it. Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers. I think Matt Ryan is joining that conversation. So I would kindly pass on a Matt Ryan. I would look for like a professional backup quarterback. Matt Ryan is not a backup quarterback. Oh, he's already signed with Fox. Appreciate that. So is it that 10-year, $375 million deal? So yeah, look, like I said, we can absolutely move on from the quarterback, and like I said, from Tom Brady, because he's officially retired. And I believe you said he's already signed with Fox, so that's a good deal. It was a cool, interesting thing going on about Tom, about how he made in 23 years playing football $323 million, and for a 10-year deal with Fox, $375 million. Tom Brady's 45, so at 55, the age 55, he would have a total of $375 million, either 45 or 46, however old he is. He's going to get some guap. God dang. I wish I could join the media booth. I'll take $2 million at this moment. Let's get into some 49er news. No longer 49ers. Coach DeMeco Ryans is the Houston Texans head coach. Round of applause for DeMeco. It was about to go down. We were just waiting for our season to kind of officially be over. The last episode we did, he went in for a second interview, and you knew he was going to be the head coach of the Houston Texans. I believe he's interviewing Bobby Slowick. for the offensive coordinator position. So D'Amico is going to be taking some of these position coaches from the San Francisco 49ers, and I don't want you guys to feel some type of way. It's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. Kyle Shanahan's got a lot of work to do. So you probably, after this presser that we listened to yesterday, we won't hear from Kyle, period, for a minute, because he's got a lot of work to do. Work number one, he's got to find a defensive coordinator. We'll talk about that. Also, Anthony Lynn interviews with the Commanders. Now, I didn't see this happening, so this is interesting because I thought maybe Anthony Lynn would get some type of promotion with Kyle Shanahan, maybe becoming that assistant head coach or whatnot. So yeah, that's going to be pretty something to watch. Anthony Lynn may be leaving. Now I see you guys talking about Vic Fangio, and I believe he is officially the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins. All right, we just got that. Shout out to Nia for putting that up there in the chat. So we'll get to that because we need to figure out, man, who is going to be that defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. And I think this is the first thing Kyle Shanahan needs to figure out. All right, so he's officially gone. Kylie's saying Breezie, Fangio, or Wilkes. Fangio's done. I mean, he's officially a Dolphin. I have it right here. So shout out to my man, Coach Yak. Vic Fangio has decided to join the Dolphins as their defensive coordinator per Adam Schefter. So breaking news right here, Fangio is going to be a Miami Dolphin. Okay, he's going to be a Miami Dolphin. And it's got to be Wilkes, right? Or maybe not. There's a couple of other guys that are out there. All right, so these guys are putting stuff out there. Chris Harris might be the guy. He's younger, okay? Well, in my opinion, he's younger than Wilkes. He's younger. He might be Ken Norton's age. I don't want Ken Norton Jr. here. I just don't. I don't think he's a great defensive coordinator. You know, Wilkes would be the guy because he would have the most experience. Plus, he's a former head coach. So yeah, he didn't sign with them 2 days ago. Remember the day? What? Maybe he did sign with them 2 days ago. I didn't get that memo, but it is what it is. Juan says Breezie Lynn is already assistant head coach. Yeah, but they kind of gave him like it was like he was signed as the assistant head coach, but it didn't seem like he had that type of a role because then he became like the running backs coach and other stuff. It kind of seemed like he got bumped down, even though that's what he was. You're right. He was when he was hired as that, but it didn't seem like that was his role. You know what I'm saying? Tony Montana says Harris is the guy. Shout out to Tony Montana, another member. Shout out to my man Dion Niner Game Podcast, another member. He did wait to sign. That's what I thought. He did wait to sign, and because he wanted to meet with the 49ers, and I guess they didn't blow him away. Maybe, you know what it was? I think I know why he didn't sign. And I think it was more the fact that, did you hear Kyle Shanahan say that he wanted to bring in a guy that doesn't necessarily have to change much because the defense is already set and built, right? And being a 3-4 guy, speaking of 3-4 guy, I found us a phenomenal 3-4 outside linebacker. But he can probably play like the Will, or he can probably play, can play the Will or the Sam. So just want to say, if he gets drafted, maybe he'll get drafted. I'll talk about that in a second. But we got to find us a guy that kind of fits what we have. And I think that's why, they did meet with Vic Fangio. Fangio might have been on some different type of stuff. The reason why I wanted Fangio, because I wanted him to bring back the hard hitting, just leave him out on a stretcher type of football. I know that ain't football, but that's kind of why I wanted to bring him back, because he can get he would end up changing some of the personnel on that defense. I would say this, but yeah. So it's not Fangio. It's going to be a guy that they feel like can fit. So when you're thinking about the defensive coordinator guys, pay attention to that. It's going to be a guy that's going to automatically fit, kind of like what we have. All right. So just wanted to put that out there. It's going to be a guy that can kind of fit like what we have. And it's unfortunate. Just looking at my notes. So I'm thinking it's going to be Commanders DB coach Chris Harris. And the reason why I'm saying that, a lot of people are saying it's going to be somebody promoted within. There's a possibility, but we got to see how many people leave with D'Amico, because he's going to take probably 3 to 4 coaches on the staff. So I think Kyle might have to look elsewhere, and why not bring in another veteran dude that can kind of like make sure that they fit this 4-3 scheme. And I believe they play a 4-3 out there in Washington. So that Chris Harris makes sense. I'm not sure what Wilkes ran over there in Indianapolis as far as a defense. But yeah, so we'll see. I think that's going to happen within a couple of days, though, to be honest. Hopefully it happens today, and then we can continue to move forward. So yeah, DC, it was no longer going to be Fangio. Let me just change my notes right here while I'm looking at you. Chris Harris, who is the DB's coach from the Washington Commanders. I actually like it, so it's probably going to go down or whatnot. Let's get into some team awards. All right, so the team awards happened. Team gives out awards every year. All right, and here are the winners of the team awards. Nick Bosa, defensive end, got the Bill Walsh Award. Fred Warner got the Bob McKittrick Award. Center Jake Brindle got the Hazeltine Ironman Award. Defensive end Nick Bosa got the Herion Memorial Award. And probably reading this wrong. And Brock Purdy ended up with one of the awards as well. So here are the awards for the team. Shout out to all of the football players that actually won. Congratulations. Keep up the great work. And yeah, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. All right, let's talk about Brock Purdy a little bit. Now, yesterday was crazy because Don, the dude from Twitter, Don K, I don't know how to say his last name, put out this tweet, and it was just crazy, whatever. And it was like Brock Purdy is going to miss the season. And then we put out the tweet. I put it out from, I referenced him, and people were like, oh no, this is wrong. And then Ari, my sports update, put out the thing that Brock has not made the decision. Brock Purdy is awaiting a second decision. Second opinions. All right. So if you don't remember, Brock Purdy suffered the torn UCL. He's going to be sidelined for about 6 months per Adam Schefter. That's what it was. Brock will wait on the second opinion for making his decision. Kyle says he'll be good after 3 months. Matter of fact, I think I have the clip of Kyle Shanahan talking about Brock Purdy's injury. And if you didn't see Brock Purdy's injury, here it is again. Yeah, you're looking at this injury and you're just like, it doesn't look bad. It just looks like a drop back pass and doesn't fall down. And then, boom. So that's kind of like what happened. But let's listen to what Kyle Shanahan had to say. I'm trying to add the clip and it don't want to let me add the clip. So let's see if it'll let me add the clip. If not, we'll go ahead and play it the normal way. I had to reset my computer because the internet was bugging in the hotel. And I paid for the internet too. So I was like, let me get off the free internet. Let me just pay the $5 a day so I could just make sure it's booming. But you guys say I sound good, so that's a great thing. Waiting for the video to process. Might not process. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get it this way. Video file. All right, so let's listen to what Kyle Shanahan had to say about Brock.
Thing for me to hear about that once 3 months is over, they start the rehab of just building the arm back slowly. And by 6 months, it's built back. And that's when I started to ask questions. So does that mean ease them in and stuff like that, like you would think of ACLs and things like that? And they said, no, the build-up's been from 3 to 6. And at 6 months, he is the same dude in full go. So that was the most encouraging part that I heard.
It's hypothetical, but when you say you're content, those two guys, does that mean you would not be looking at signing a starter-level veteran at all, or?
I know we have 2 starters on our team right now that I believe we can win with. So when you have that situation, you're not that eager to go looking around.
These are 2 guys who are coming off of injuries, and one of them has been hurt previously.
I actually like this question. Like, I like the follow-ups.
It always is. But, I mean, first time, when a quarterback gets his arm bent backwards and stuff. I think anybody gets hurt from that. You know, it's unfortunate when quarterbacks get hurt, but you try to have 3. Sometimes you bring 4 into camp, but I don't think we're going to start having 5 or anything like that. So Brock did a pretty good job being durable all year, and they got his elbow in an unfortunate situation, which I think has happened to a number of quarterbacks. I mean, going back to, I don't know exactly, but even you look at Breeze, I don't know if that was shoulder or elbow.
So like he talked about the injury. It's a 6-month kind of like type of injury. He felt like at 3 months, you know, he was going to kind of ease him back into the situation. And he said that the doctors say, no. In 3 months, he's pretty much good to go. So we're going to see. We got to sit here and monitor this injury. Now, I personally feel like if it's anything, if it's like, all right, first of all, like I'm a baseball guy. And in the moment that there's something wrong with that pitcher's arm and there's a tear in that UCL, like there's no playing around with it. You get the Tommy John surgery and you just forego the year and then you come back stronger if you train properly. I'm kind of like in that situation. I'm not an MD. Don't say that. I'm just giving you my 2 cents. I'm kind of like in that situation when it comes to Brock Purdy. Like I feel like if even if it's slightly torn, maybe it's best to just go ahead and, you know, get it fixed, forego a season, and then come back strong. Now, that's easy to say for the simple fact that, you know, that's me talking. Brock is probably he's a competitor. Let's some of the things like describe Brock Purdy in one word. Ready, set, go. I'm gonna say he's a competitor, right? He's a competitor. He's a gritty, like gridiron football guy. We've watched him play with injured obliques. We've watched him come out there and try to play with the somebody said elbow fatigue. We watched him come out here and play with a torn UCL. Okay, here we go. So I asked you to describe Brock. We got tough. Ian, yes, super tough. We got competitor. We got tough. We got strong. We got tough. Like these are like I mean, got leader. Didn't even think about that. Like didn't even think dog. My man 49er Cass put out a picture with the bulldog and Brock Purdy's elbow. I thought that was kind of cool. We got star. He's definitely a star. Hungry is a cool word, Joker, because it's like that's probably why he's getting these second opinions. And he's probably saying to myself, yo, man, you know, if I do forego this year and Trey Lance balls out, I may never see the field again. See what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of psychological things that can actually happen to a player mentally. So Brock is trying to figure out like what's going to be the best for him. Me personally, I feel like, dude, you got a torn UCL. I personally feel like you should just get it fixed, and then deal with whatever happens after that. Like deal with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Poised, durable, resilience. Ooh, calm. My word for Brock. Wait a minute. We got to give Jimmy G a little, we got to cut him a little bit of slack because last year he was a warrior. Come on. He was a warrior last year. He played with like 4 injuries and he didn't complain about it. I mean, he sucked, but he didn't complain about it. And you know what? You're right. And on that point, you're right. Now, good news is Trey Lance spoke and said that he's ready to he's going to be ready by OTAs. Like Trey Lance said he will be ready to go by OTAs. You know how great that is? If Trey Lance comes back healthy, this team has this team will be in a good place. Because, again, at the end of the day, we still haven't seen Trey Lance play over a duration, you know, when it comes to a regular season. Good morning, Melissa. We haven't seen him play over the duration of the season. So, good news is Trey Lance said he's willing to come back. He's going to be ready to come back by OTAs, which is in May. Good news is Brock Purdy hasn't given up yet. He's still waiting on some second opinions, right? So there's a possibility that he might be just good to go. All right, we're waiting on that. All right, that's good news. And the other good news, probably the best news when you're talking about quarterbacks for the San Francisco 49ers, other than the fact that Tom Brady has retired, Jimmy Garoppolo won't be a 49er anymore. Like, he's done. Like, Kyle Shanahan made it clear as clear liquid. Like, he's done. He's done. He's done. Jimmy's done. Like, and I thought he made that clear last year, and then no one signed him, and then he was back. Now, there's a possibility that same situation may present itself again. And I heard there's reports out there saying that there are some teams out there that are interested in signing Jimmy Garoppolo as a free agent. There are some teams out there that are willing to sign him as a free agent. Got you. Cool. Beans. I just won't believe it until I see it. And here we go with Burt Reynolds. I was waiting for the first person to say this, and I was going to put it up here. Jimmy G will be starting for the 49ers this year. Now, this will never, ever, ever happen again. According to Kyle Shanahan, this is done. Jimmy's done. Now, there's a small possibility. If there's a setback in Trey Lance and Brock Purdy, who would be the best available option out there, in my opinion, if I asked you, Jimmy Garoppolo or Matt Ryan, who would you take? Come on, put it in the chat. Jimmy Garoppolo or Matt Ryan? I'm taking Jimmy. You guys are idiots. This is the stuff I'm talking about. My man Ariel said, I'll take Brissett. Would you really, though? Really? A guy that doesn't know the offense? Ooh, somebody said Matt. You know you lying. You know you lying. I'm taking Jimmy G all day. I'm not even going to play. It's just Jimmy. Shout out to, I'm taking Jimmy over Matt. And there's not too many veteran quarterbacks that are going to be available when you're thinking about your third quarterback. Now, I know Jimmy G is not going to want to sit there. Melissa said no fair. I'm just saying, if it came down to the veteran guy, who would it be? Because them the vets, right? Drew Brees is not coming out of retirement. If they pull Phillip Rivers out of retirement and sign Phillip Rivers, I would probably not cover 49ers. I'll find a different team to be a content creator for. I don't want to see Phillip Rivers ever play football again. He's done. But I'm just thinking about those vets. What did GSU for life say? I'd be an idiot, Breezy. James torn his draws with me in 20. I know we're over him. I understand we're over him. According to Kyle Shanahan and the presser you just heard, he said he was over him. Basically, said he's done. He's not coming back. I can't. He's coming off of an injury, EMA beats. He's also coming off of an injury. I don't know what his injury was. What was, let's look up Ryan Tannehill's injury. Ryan Tannehill's, weird way to spell the name too, by the way. Tannehill's injury. Let's look up his injury. I don't remember what it was. He was out for he had an ankle injury. I don't want another quarterback with an ankle injury. I'm sorry. I don't want a quarterback. I don't want another quarterback with an ankle injury. I don't want Gardner Minshew. He's trash. To me, he was good in that one game, and then he was trash. So this is going to be – I don't think Mariota's that good. I know he beat us. I don't think he's it. He's better than Josh Johnson, though. Fudge, Melissa. He is better than Josh Johnson. Derek Carr is going to cost too much money. Now, listen, Kyle has said, what's going on, Dwayne? Kyle said that he's not looking to add another quarterback because he feels like he has two starting quarterbacks already. He hasn't. But what about the third one? Because Kyle Shanahan's going to need three quarterbacks. And that's something that we're going to have to figure out, of course, this season. And look, Tom Brady's off the list. He's retired. A lot of you said you want vets. If you want vets, then it's got to be a good damn vet because Josh Johnson is probably the ultimate vet. And he was terrible. Mike White is actually a good option. Is that the quarterback from the Jets 49er Magic? I don't know if he's a free agent. You know what? I'm saying I don't know. And how about I look it up? I don't know if Spot Rack is going to be. Let's see if Spot Rack gives me, if it loads up. Is it going to be, that's going to be interesting, guys. It's going to be very interesting. Let's go 49ers, NFL, 49er, nope. Free agents. Let's go to quarterbacks. I'm going to see which vets might possibly be available. Once they pop up, this site is so slow. Or my internet connection is slow. One or the other. I don't know. We got plenty of time. Tavarius, shout out to Tavarius. You must be, I think you're in Alabama. Mike White, Geno, Mayfield, Dalton, Bridgewater, Brissett. All right, so let's scratch off Bridgewater. He gets hurt every time he plays football. Geno Smith might be the best option, but I think he wants to start, and I think Seattle will re-sign him. Baker Mayfield, Andy Dalton, Jacoby Brissett or Mike White would probably be the only two options the 49ers can bring in here. But again, we're going to see. We're going to see what's going to happen. I like Cam Newton. I see you guys talking about Cam Newton. Kaepernick won't ever play football ever again. Josh Willie Beeman Johnson throwing up. Did he throw up on the field? Yeah. Wayne, we talking quarterback 3, not quarterback 1. Mariota. But see, I like what you're saying, but I'm looking at it as if they had to play quarterback 1. Feel me? Because that's kind of like what happens. Because that's what the show's about. Show's about Kyle Shanahan and quarterbacks being injured. It's Kyle Shanahan getting his quarterbacks injured. I tell you what, Kylie, perfect segue to the topic of the show. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Let's open it up. Is Kyle Shanahan getting his quarterbacks injured? I like that. Here's the thing. You're 100% correct, Kylie. I love what you're saying. We are looking for a quarterback 3. That's 100% correct. But what happens if your quarterback 1 and your quarterback 2 goes down and you need a quarterback 3? We can't say that won't ever happen. Because it happened. We just witnessed it. We lost our quarterback 1. We lost our quarterback 2. Hell, we lost our quarterback 3. So, is it an anomaly for this season? Like, will this ever happen again? This has never happened to any other team. But we got to think about the way Kyle Shanahan coaches, the way he likes to call some of his plays, the way he likes to use his quarterbacks. Matter of fact, they asked Kyle Shanahan about that. Like they asked Kyle Shanahan about that. Let's listen to that particular presser piece. They asked him about that. And let me get your thoughts on it because Kyle talked about his quarterbacks being injured. And let's see what he had to say.
For a season, and you have 4 quarterbacks get hurt.
4 quarterbacks got injured.
You as a coach, any hesitation? They're all different. You as the person who draws up the plays, hesitation on how you're protecting them, how they're handled, what you do with them.
Yeah, I think when you ask that question, that way I understand. But I think if you looked at the injuries, common sense would answer that question.
Common sense.
I mean, how have they gotten hurt? I mean, I'm sorry, Josh got a concussion when he hit the ground. So that's the 4th one you're talking about. I'm sorry, our quarterback got his elbow bent backwards on a normal drop back pass. I'm sorry, on a drop back pass, someone rolled up on Jimmy's ankle. And then we have a dual threat quarterback who got hurt running the ball. So to throw all those 4 in that category, no quarterbacks got hurt when we had to hand it off the whole second half.
See, that's the smart ass comment right there. That comment right there. Well, no quarterbacks got hurt when we handed the ball off. So anyway, like I think Kyle's tired of everybody saying that, you know, he's getting his quarterbacks hurt. And listen, if you guys feel like that's what's happening here, I can totally understand it. Look, our O-line is the problem. It's so weird though, how the O-line is the problem. Look, my man Akash from Niner Nation put out this dope. He put out something though. It's the one thing I love about him. He's going to get down to the numbers so that you guys can have a better preface of the overall picture, because numbers don't lie. Okay, numbers don't lie. And his his tweet was about quarterback hits on the season. So I want you guys to check this out. Let me go ahead and remove this from the stream. And he says the 49ers gave up 42 quarterback hits all season long. That was the 10th fewest in the NFL. They also only gave up 31 sacks, which was the 6th fewest in the NFL. That didn't include quarterback runs, but somehow there's the question of play calling and injuries. And so when you're thinking about the play calling and the injuries, it's more like, they're freakish injuries. Like the Trey Lance injury, we're blaming it on Kyle Shanahan and the play calling because he ran him up the middle. Remember Jerry Rice put out that tweet and said, stop running our weapons or playmakers up the middle. And he was talking about the quarterback. He was talking about Deebo Samuel. He was talking about all these players, right? He was saying, and you know what I'm saying? So he put that out there. I tell you what, if Jerry Rice was playing football today and they asked him to run up the middle, you know what his ass would do? He would run up the middle. But at the end of the day, like, we're upset because that play that Trey Lance got hurt was a 3-yard gain, and it was a quarterback read option to where he could have like took the ball and ran it or handed the ball off to the running back. And it's just a freak injury that he ended up getting injured on that type of play, in my opinion. It just was. And I know a lot of people are not gonna say that. The Jimmy Garoppolo one, there was pressure from the left, there's pressure from the right. He escapes the pressure because sometimes quarterbacks are gonna have to escape pressures. Sometimes quarterbacks take sacks, to avoid things. And on that one particular time, Jimmy was trying to make a play, and the defender, oh my gosh, kid from Miami. The defender rolled up on him, and unfortunately, boom, he's out. And then when you look at Brock Purdy's play, we're questioning the coverage. We're questioning the blocking scheme from the tight end. Can I ask y'all this hypothetical question? Because this didn't happen, but what if that was George Kittle? Would you still not want, and let's say George Kittle did that, would we still be upset and say that a tight end shouldn't be blocking the guy? I'm just curious to know if we're consistent with the fact that it was a tight end blocking or because it was Tyler Kroft blocking. Because all the stuff out there is more of the simple fact that it's your backup tight end blocking. But what if George Kittle gave up that? I mean, I would say Hassan Reddick made a play. Vaughn says it doesn't matter if it was Kittle, and I get it. It's kind of hindsight. Like, it doesn't matter who. What if it was Mike McGlinchey? What if it was Mike? What if it was your right tackle? And I know the fact is that it was Kroft. I get it. But if it was Mike McGlinchey, would we still be feeling the same ill way? I mean, it's just, in my opinion, watching that play, I thought Tyler Kroft, I don't know how y'all expected him to block this guy when he was lined up super outside. But I felt like he was pushing him around, and there's so many things that could have went differently on that, right? It could have been a different blocker. It could have been a different blocker on him. It could have been, Brock Purdy maybe stepping up in the pocket, trying to get the pass out to his check down. It just could have went so many different ways. And honestly, dude just made a play. I was watching NFL films last night, and you guys remember Derek Brooks? Raise your hand if you remember who Derek Brooks was, the pass rusher from the Kansas City Chiefs. He died at a young age, but I forgot how amazing he was. And I kind of got like a mixture between Hassan Reddick and maybe Von Miller, and that's how you get Derek Brooks. The reason why I brought him up was he wasn't ever, he got sacks on the quarterback, but that wasn't, Derek Thomas. I'm sorry, not Derek Brooks. Derek Thomas. Brooks was on Tampa. He didn't get, he had sacks, but that wasn't his thing. What he did? He used to force fumbles. He used to force fumbles. The reason why I brought that up is because when you look at Hassan Reddick, instead of him going for the sack, he went for the arm. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, all right, man. Well, there's two different players. So there is a Derek Brooks, but I meant Derek Thomas. So my apologies for those that are like, who? But the reason why I brought that up is because when you look at Hassan Reddick, he did exactly the same thing Derek Thomas would have did. He went to the arm and made sure that ball came out. Unfortunately, this particular play just bent his arm backwards. I think I agree with you guys not lining the tight end up there. Me personally, I thought it would have been a little. I felt like somebody else should have been out there because he was lined up so outside. He was lined up so outside, like so outside. Like it was like, and Mose pointed that out on the show. He was lined up far. Here goes my internet connection, guys. Let me know if I'm starting to sound like a robot. It just popped up. I don't know why. I'll refresh it. You guys tell me if I sound like a robot. I do want to get you guys on. I'm going to put the link in here. The question is this. Is Kyle Shanahan getting the reason why his quarterbacks are getting injured? Is Kyle Shanahan the reason why his quarterbacks are getting injured? I did mean Derek Thomas. Again, my apologies. There's the link. I'm going to try to get you guys on here. We got about 20 minutes before I got to head over to the Whitney field, Hancock Whitney Field, to get to the stuff. It says just the video. So the video, yeah, that's bad though. Sounds good, but video froze up. All right. I just don't understand. I'm paying for the connection. All right. So I tell you what, I'm going to refresh. We'll take a small pause. Let me refresh this internet, and then we'll be right back. All right. So you might have to click on the stream again. All right, because I don't know why it's doing that. It was just fine. It was perfect. Maybe a better connection on the bed. And let me just restart this. All right, let's see if this works a little bit better. It looks like the connection is stronger. Where did my man go? I'm not sure where he went. Why do I have two me's? All right, let's see if this works. All right, so again, I'm going to put the link out here. Here we go. Click on that link. I want to get your thoughts on this. All right, I want to get your thoughts on, is Kyle Shanahan getting his quarterbacks injured? I think that's super important. I want to know what you guys think about the situation. Let's hurry up before the connection decides to go all the way out. There he is. All right, let's get Ronnie on. What's going on, bro?
Yo, what's up?
Nothing much, man. Sitting out here in Alabama. About to head over to the field. I wanted to get
Is it
your
warm?
thoughts.
Warm over there in Alabama?
It's not. So
Okay.
the first day it was like 80 degrees, and then it was 30 degrees yesterday, and I haven't been outside today. So,
Oh man, we got pure cold up here in Toronto. There's snow everywhere.
Oh, that is snow. I have not seen snow like that all year.
We're getting a frost right now. It's gonna be minus 24 tomorrow.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! Minus 24. Good gosh.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. So, what are your thoughts on Kyle Shanahan and his quarterback injuries?
When it comes to if I blame Shanahan, I don't. I do have a slight gripe with him running Trey Lance up the middle. That's the only one. Besides that, it's shit happens to us. I don't know why it happens to the 49ers, but it does. I can't blame Kyle for that. You know, maybe they have the quarterbacks are protected enough as it is. Like, what more can you do? Like, yeah, okay, we can beef up the O-line a little bit more, but you really, what else can you do?
Yeah, so like the injury to Brock was not necessarily based off the O line. It was more from the tight end
Yeah.
blocking the outer rush, and it just didn't look good when you look back at it on film. You're like, why is it him? But I think Reddick beats anybody coming from that far. He would have beat McGlinchey. He would have beat
Yeah.
any like he was really spread out to get the speed to get around. So it's like contact, rip the arm, I'm around the guy. I don't think it would have mattered who it was. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
I don't think it would have mattered. You're right, and that's why I don't blame him. I just think we're just unlucky. Unfortunately,
Ah,
we're
okay.
just unlucky. But to that post that you're just putting up about our pressures or whatever, I think a lot of that has to do with Purdy being elusive
Yeah.
because he could have got hit quite a number of times if it wasn't for him being so elusive.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
like I said,
Jimmy, he's not, but like Brock, he's pretty elusive. So
yeah,
is Trey Lance.
Brock to me is more elusive than Trey. Trey's more of a running back as a runner.
Yes,
But
yes,
he's
I give you
more
that.
of the bell cow running back, whereas Brock is more like the Christian McCaffrey type. Like, I'm gonna make you miss a little bit
Yeah,
and spin
I,
and
I think Trey Lance is be someone that'd be harder for them to take down if they got an arm on him, and Brock is a little bit more elusive.
I agree. I agree 100%.
And one other thing I wanted to add because I was saying in the preseason, what contract is Sudfeld on? What's the chances of getting back Sudfeld?
Um, I have not looked at Sudfeld's contract and what he signed to play wherever he went. I would have to look into that and get back to you on that. But there is a possibility they bring back the familiar guy. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
Kyle does, though,
he,
right?
he didn't look that bad in the preseason. Him and Purdy were battling it out, and I'm like, wow, they're gonna have to keep him. If it wasn't for them keeping Jimmy, he wouldn't have been here.
Yeah. So we have to check and see if he signed a 1-year deal to be the backup in Detroit, or is he going to be there? I don't know necessarily what his contract is, but there's a possibility that he can be back.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited to hopefully give Trey a chance and see what he can do.
Same here.
And knowing that we have Brock right there,
Same here.
right there behind him.
Same here, man. I appreciate you for jumping on, bro.
All right, man.
All right,
Cool.
man. Peace out, Ronnie. Let's get my man Dion on here, bro. What's going on, baby?
What's up, Breezy, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just trying to hang in there with this connection while it's a little strong. Hopefully, I'm not choppy chop, but you
Oh
sound
no,
good.
no, your internet is solid now. Yeah, froze
Okay.
earlier. Yeah, I'm a little under the weather. Got a little cold, man. But
Oh no, man. Hope you
yeah,
feel better, bro.
yeah. You literally are the first podcast I came on all week. I haven't even talked about the loss, man. It's just been frustrating. I wanted to see how you felt about this analogy. I feel like Kyle is Mark Jackson. He got all the pieces to the puzzle. He just can't get over the hump.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's what it's starting to look like because we get to the Super Bowl, can't finish. NFC Championship game last year, can't finish.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Jacqueline. Thank you. Everybody wishing me well wishes. I appreciate it. Your boy is on his vitamin C, elderberry, and my lovely wife is taking so good care of me, man. I try to get up, do stuff. I get yelled at. So believe me, I appreciate everybody for all the love. Thank you so much. But that's what I'm feeling right now. Honestly, I feel like he has everything. He just can't get over the hump. And sometimes it takes like that different person to just give you that little extra boost over the top. It's not that I don't believe in Kyle. I'm not saying fire Kyle. Please don't take that in any way, shape, or form and twist it to be such. I just feel like that's his MO right now. He's Mark Jackson. He keeps getting there. And just he can't finish, man, and it hurts. As for Purdy, everybody out there, it's either 6 or 12 months, depending on what he wants to do. If you do a full Tommy John surgery, you need a year. You cannot do a 6-month period of time. If you do that and you come back, you must be taking HGH and everything under the sun because it just doesn't work like that. I watch enough baseball to know. But after Tommy John, people have said their arms have sometimes even gotten better or
Better.
stronger.
Right.
Pretty sure they clowning me in the chat about my voice, which I don't care. Go ahead. I laugh at myself. I'm perfectly fine with everybody laughing at me. But that's just how I feel, man. Honestly, we got to focus on the free agents we need to bring back um, this off season. And, I think Dub is gone, man. I think he's probably going to be in Houston with D'Amico. I honestly think Jimmy Ward's going to Houston with D'Amico. I saw his IG live where he was like, basically almost low key was told you can ride the bench if you don't want to play nickel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot going on in the offseason, man. I swear to you, the football guys must have a thing for Trey Lance because this injury provides him another opportunity to get out there and do what he needs to do. We know at a minimum he's going to be the quarterback fully going in OTAs. And you know how Kyle is. He like to bring people on slow, so he'll definitely be the quarterback going all through training camp, probably all through the preseason. So I don't want the opportunity for Lance in this manner, but I can appreciate that he has it again because I felt bad. It's just kind of a shock. And I honestly thought if Brock got here, there would at least just be a competition.
Mm-hmm.
But if Brock would have won the Super Bowl, no, Trey Lance's job is gone. It's automatically Brock Purdy's. That was just my opinion, but I know you got to get other people on. Are you doing a gig or did you get stuck again, man?
Am I doing it? No. I'm out here covering the Senior Bowl, so I got.
Oh,
I'm about to leave in
okay.
9 minutes, so I got
Oh,
to get
okay.
everybody on. Yeah.
Hey, do your thing, man. I'm sorry you covering the Senior Bowl.
Nah.
Okay, Breezy, look at you
It's
doing big thing.
yeah,
Listen, man,
man.
you got to play the Jefferson. You got to play the Jefferson. You're moving on up.
I gotta get out of Alabama first, but it's too slow down here for me,
Yeah,
bro.
right. Hey,
Yeah.
get out of there safe, bro.
Yeah.
Some people don't realize there are still certain places in the South we as Black folk do not and cannot and should not and will not go.
I
But
mean, the
stay safe.
safest places is the Waffle Houses. So if I need, I just go to the Waffle House and it's all
There
love there. Yeah.
there you go. All right, man. Hey, have fun covering the Senior Bowl, bro. Congrats on that. Continue to do big things. Continue to grow. I got nothing but love for you. I wish you all the blessings in the world, whether it be spiritual, financial, just growth in general, growth for the Breezy Network, all of
Appreciate
that
it.
good stuff, man. So y'all stay
Appreciate you.
up, stay faithful out there. I'm gonna go and get some tea.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Get well soon, bro. All right. Let me get Melissa on here because I don't want her to drop back out again. What's going on, Melissa?
Hey, Breezy. How are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Good. Oh, here go the connection again. I see it. All right. Go ahead and get your talk on. Hopefully you don't sound choppy.
I wanted to ask you, have you met anybody there to cover the Senior Bowl yet? Because I know Steph Sanchez is down there and a bunch of other people are.
Yeah, I've met tons of players. I've gotten some interviews. I'm saving my stuff to post. I talked to a couple of wide receivers, a couple of wideouts that might fall third or fourth, fifth round or whatnot. That could be like a nice upgrade to some of the stuff that we have here. Some of the running backs as well, offensive linemen. So I'm definitely gonna break that stuff down on the Patreon. But one guy, offensive lineman that I would look out for is the kid out of Syracuse, Matthew. How do you say his last name? Let's see, Matthew Jones, something like that. Kid out of Syracuse. He's a problem. Oh, actually, I got it right here. So here's some of the people that I definitely got a chance to meet and talk up. There's also this offensive lineman out of North Dakota State, Cody Mouch. He looks good. There's a lot of nice good players out here for us to look into. So yeah, Matthew Bergeron is the kid. There's a running back, Tajay Spears. Oh my gosh, speed, gets through the hole, makes people miss, can catch out of the backfield. And I will say that Tajay Spears was the best blocking running back in the drills and the sevens and in the 11 drills. So like he was the best protecting, and he's the littlest one. Go figure. And then we want an edge rusher, Derek Hall out of Auburn. He'll probably be gone. Second round, probably first or second round. He's probably going to be gone, but he looks really good out there. And this is the kid from Iowa State I was talking about, Will McDonald the fourth. He's a problem out there as well.
Cool. All right. So I want to ask you, because you brought up Tyler Croft in that block earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Was I the only one that noticed, like, a few plays earlier, they tried the same thing with Juwan Jennings all the way outside right all by himself, and Reddick blew right past him.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming Kyle Shanahan, because I do think that Brock Purdy climbed the pocket too much in that game, held on to the ball too much because he was trying to make plays happen. But I think that whoever designed or called those certain protections got way too cute, because, like, I don't think that they took all those first rounders on the Philly D line seriously, because, like, there's no way they should have had Croft or Jennings or one of these guys all by themselves to handle one of the biggest problems, and then have McGlinchey always kicked inside and, like, give an absolute big hole for these teams to get in the backfield. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that real quick.
Yeah, it just looked like Kyle was just trying something different, as far as like his personnel that he had out there. And so, like, I mean, the main play that people that stuck out was the Brock Purdy injury, but you are talking about the one where there was a play where Juwan Jennings just could, I don't even think he can get to the block. It was just he was lined up
He
wide,
was so
far out.
outside.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. He was
he
lined
just,
wide
like,
out.
slipped right past him, like, brushed against McGlinchey. He was kicking inside, and
That's what
he
I'm
was
saying.
right in the backfield. Like, usually when you do stuff like that, you at least have, like, a Kyle Juszczyk or a Charlie Warner or a George Kittle or uh or somebody else there to help out with those kind of, like, blocking schemes. Like, you don't just leave the one guy on his own. And I'm just like,
Well, I mean, you do you do that, but against certain players, I wouldn't do that. And I think Kyle might have thought his guys can just match up with that player one on one, and clearly it just didn't work out. I think that's what happened. Melissa, like, Hassan Reddick is just a freak of nature.
yeah.
Like, that's what he is. And unfortunately, he took advantage of every matchup. He did his best taking advantage of it. When he saw a mismatch that he knew he could beat with speed, he beat them every time. Like, he hit Josh Johnson. He wasn't the one that took Josh Johnson out, but he was the one that got Josh Johnson first. And that was the play you're talking about. So it was a bootleg play. And, like, I don't know what Juwan was supposed to do, but whatever it was, Josh Johnson just got creamed because he was right in his face. And so, like, yeah, it was a little awkward, right? So I don't know. I don't know I don't know why Kyle called certain types of plays or had certain types of looks out there. Maybe he thought we can overpower them, like, kind of bully them. And apparently Hassan Reddick just wasn't. He was the bully. That's kind of what happened.
I don't know if you saw it, but Jason Poe got the special helmet from Kyle Shanahan for being, like, an all-time scout team player of the year.
Yes.
And I know there's talk right now about Trent Williams maybe retiring or being close to retirement, because it's harder for him to bounce back with all the tough losses and nicks and injuries and the older he gets. And so I wanted to ask you, right now, it feels like Spencer Burford and Aaron Banks are, like, the only two guys that might be here for the long run. And I was wondering, do you think those other three spots should be filled with stuff we already have, or do you think that they're going to start, like, seriously taking the draft serious or free agency serious for both tackles and then center?
Well, I mean, Melissa, it's hard to take the draft serious when you have a third round pick and you're trying to replace, like,
Well, I didn't mean, like, this year.
first round
I just
talent.
meant, like, further down the line, because
I
it
mean,
just gets.
they're always looking to draft in the trenches, right? That's kind of like how they started to build the team. So they drafted Mike McGlinchey, like, and it panned out, but it didn't really, like, pan out, like, because he didn't turn into what we thought he would be, or what a lot of people thought he'd be. But he was serviceable here, right? And he ended up getting injured that one year. So I think they always look to do that, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they need a first round pick to draft, like, this phenomenal tackle or phenomenal guard. No, but I mean, it would be nice if they had that luxury of drafting one of the best tackles and coming out of college, opposed to somebody that they got to come in here and kind of like, get up to speed. Now the 49ers got a lot of players on the offensive line that are going to develop. I think Nick Zakil is going to be one of those guys. We don't even know if Jake Brendel will be back as playing center. He's a free agent. So there's a lot of players that we got right now in this current offensive line. Everybody wants to upgrade the line. There's a lot of players here that we don't even know if they're returning. And so, yeah, they got to look into the draft. They got plenty of draft picks. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's some offensive linemen here at this Senior Bowl that might go third round, fourth round, that I feel like will fit what Kyle Shanahan is doing. Check out the kid from North Dakota State. Give him a year.
I'm going to look that up for you.
Yep, give him a year. His name is Cody. Give him a year in this regiment. Get him in the third or fourth round. I guarantee you he'll be a problem. Can move in space. Knows Trey Lance. It's like they ran a lot of outside zone, a lot of inside zone last year. They ran more of what the 49ers ran after Trey Lance. Isn't that funny? Like they yeah. So look him up. Cody, Mauch.
I'm actually wearing my Trey Lance sweater again because I feel like I'm actually allowed to wear it without being like disrespectful to Brock Purdy.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, let me get these other people on, Melissa, because I got to get out here to this football field. But I appreciate you.
I just have one last question for you, real quick.
Sure.
Who are you more excited for this upcoming year? Khalid Davis, who we haven't really seen much of, or Jake Jackson actually getting a bigger role?
So, it's gonna come. I mean, I'm really looking forward to Drake Jackson, right? Because he was the second round pick. So that's the guy I'm looking forward to seeing play. I believe Khalid Davis is going to bring something positive. And so we just got to see. He's coming off of this injury. Drake Jackson did not come off of an injury. Kyle Shanahan simply said, his body just kind of wore down toward the end of the season, and the other players were just equipped and ready to go more than he was. And I think giving him a full off season. Remember, he can't. When rookies get drafted, they're coming straight from college. And he just finished playing college, and they're coming straight from college. They're coming from all those workouts, all that type of stuff, and then they're coming in right to the rookie mini camp and OTAs and all that type of stuff. So it's like a never-ending, story for them. And then this year 2 should be the year. And I think Chris Kosirik is going to get to him, and we're going to see him more. I'm really hoping he can fill that D Ford role. That's what we're missing. It's not just the production and the sacks, it's the production of just applying that pressure on the opposite side. So that way you bring less attention to Nick Bosa. So if Drake Jackson is getting home, Nick will less likely be double teamed, because now they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do on the other side. And so I think Drake is going to be the guy. I personally think, though, we need to bolster up that interior on the defensive line. We need a guy.
Same. And good luck to your Mets and Celtics and everything else that you root for. So
thank you.
It's nice to talk to you again, Breezy.
Always. Bye. All right. Bye-bye. Let me get Uncle Scott on here first, John, because you'll close out. Uncle Scott, what's going on, bro?
What's up, nephew?
Nothing much, man. The connection looks like it's a little bit better. The bar went away. So let's go ahead, and I want to hear what you got to say about this whole situation when it comes to Kyle Shanahan.
Okay, but first of all, I don't care if you're a fan, you want to blame somebody for the season loss. Okay, you want to blame, but in actuality, football is a violent sport. Look, back in the day, they didn't protect the quarterback.
Oh,
okay. Now everything. It's just. My point being is it's just something that happens. And unfortunately, we went through 3 quarterbacks, not 1, not 2, but 3. We went through 3 quarterbacks. Okay. Now we no longer have Jimmy. We have Brock and Trey. Trey is our future. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody loves Brock Purdy. I love the kid too. But Trey Lance is our future. He's bigger. He's got more of an upside, and everybody knows it. Just be honest with yourself. Everybody knows that Trey Lance, when he ascends to that next level, he is going to be that much better and he is going to be a Jalen Hurts or a Josh Allen or what. I believe that.
I agree.
It's just unfortunate he got hurt. It's part of the game. He may go all next season and be what we all expect him to be, what we prayed for him to be.
I agree.
Okay? I want both of these quarterbacks to have a 1-2 punch. That's what we have. We have a 1-2 punch. One quarterback goes down, we're not going to see a 3-year quarter, going down again. We're just not going to see that. How many times over the years have we seen that?
It's never happened.
It doesn't happen. So getting back to this Kyle Shanahan, it's his fault. Yeah, I guess if you want to be nitpicky about it, but it's football. So that's where I stand. I just think it's part of the game. We have to, as fans, we have to accept whatever. But I'm saying we just have to accept it. Trust in Kyle. I get the whole Mark Jackson analogy, and yes, this and that. Yes. But just, we're going to have patience. We're going to have, I see us getting a 6th ring with one of these two quarterbacks. I've been here since the first one. Okay. I've seen the first one. I've seen the second one. I've seen the third one. I've seen the 4th one. I've seen the 5th one. Okay. It's time for number 6. And I honestly believe that we have a formula that's winning. We win 12 games in a row. As a fan, that's unbelievable. What other team went 12 in a row this season? What team went 12 in a row? Not one. We're the only ones. We are the only ones. So I feel for Brock Purdy. He's going to heal. He's going to come back. He's a competitor. We've all seen it. He's awesome. He's ready now. Once he comes back, he's going to fit right in like a glove. Trey Lance has the opportunity now to be that quarterback we know he can be. There's some out there that just don't like him. Oh, well, everybody doesn't like everybody. It would be a boring world if that's the case.
Good point.
Okay, so I'm just saying, I've been a Trey Advocate fan from the very beginning. I haven't worn his jersey in respect to him all year because he's been out. But I got his jersey when we drafted him because that's what I feel. I looked at some of his college stuff. Yes, he's raw. Yes, everything is true. But when you look at him, that's why we got him. There's the spark that we need. That's what we ultimately want to see is him. He's 6'4". He's 6'4". He's not 6 foot. He's 6'4". He's an athlete.
Too. He's solid.
He's solid. And your intro, no dissing Trey Lance. That's right. I don't want to hear none of that. He is our quarter. We have 2 quarterbacks.
Here it is.
Nobody else can say that. Nobody else.
And your contribution says it. It says we have Trey Lance and Brock Purdy, 2 young quarterbacks on rookie contracts still. What other team has the same? And that's a great question. Like there is no other team that has the same. The question though still looms. Does Kyle set his quarterbacks up to get injured? And you said no, it's football. Because football is going to get you injured whether you like it or not. Like you're going to
exactly.
Like whether it's an injury that's going to keep you out and put you on the IR, or you just dinged up after playing a game. Like either way, football is going to wear and tear on the body. But I think a lot of the people out there are saying, Kyle, why are you running Trey up the middle? Like, why are you doing this?
Why, Trey, why did you run an outside zone? Why are you trying to get around the corner? Why are you playing football? Why are you throwing the ball? Why? Because he's a football player.
Yeah.
Okay? He's a football player. Football is a violent sport. I mean, the last time I checked, just look at what happened to Brock. Hassan Reddick is a monster.
He is.
He is and he is a force in this league. He will be a force for many years to come. Believe. I don't know how. I don't know of him. I've just seen what he is, and he's a monster. He's a monster.
He always has been. He always has been on all three teams that he's played for: Cardinals, Panthers, and the Eagles.
And he deserves to go to the Super Bowl. That's how good he is. He deserves.
It's funny you said that, and I'm gonna get EMA Beats on here really quickly. But why did we get beat last year? Because the Rams. Because the Rams traded for Von Miller. That's why.
Right.
Another elite edge rusher to take pressure off of the interior, which is his name is Aaron Donald. What did the Eagles do? The Eagles on paper did exactly what the Rams did. And they did it even more. They added even more. They added depth, talent depth at that, and then they got a couple of pass rushers that they was gonna rotate in and out. So, to me,
they did a better job than we did. I'm gonna give them their props
for sure.
They did their job better than we did.
So
and
maybe
that's why they're going to the Super Bowl.
Maybe this year we added a lot of depth, and I thought the depth was going to be the issue, but maybe it just wasn't the right depth. Maybe it was too many of the plan B pass rushers.
We need more stars on the line. We need more stars.
I like that.
So I honestly feel that there's a lot of stars that could be something, but we actually have a window now that we need stars, proven stars.
Agreed.
Proven stars. Okay. But that's all I got. But safe travels in Alabama.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm an old white dude, so I never faced anything like that.
Oh,
so
no, it's cool down here, man. The people,
I hope
very hospitable.
Be safe. Good. Be safe, Wayne.
Cool. Yeah.
Have fun. Hey, have fun at the Senior Bowl. I mean,
I can't wait to go to the game. I'm excited.
Good. Have fun, be safe, and we'll see you at home.
All right.
And I just want to give a shout out to all the faithful. I love y'all. I love watching your comments. You guys are awesome. I'm glad to be a part of the faithful. This old man, you guys bring a lot of joy to this old man reading your guys' comments. So with that, peace. God loves everybody. We'll see you next time.
Amen. Thank you, brother.
Peace.
Thanks, Unc. All right, let me get EMA on here. EMA Beats. You there, bro?
Yo, Breezy, what's up, fam?
What's going on, fam? I know.
Still hurt, man.
It's still raw. I get it. And we gotta watch a Super Bowl. So it's gonna it's gonna sting for a minute. For me, it doesn't make sense, but it's gonna sting for a minute. So go ahead and get it out, bro. I understand. We got you. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I think it's just the inability to compete for 3.5 pretty much quarters, of the NFC Championship is just it's unheard of, Yeah. That might, it feels like we're the first team to ever go that far. Obviously with 12 straight wins, going for 13 and for the Super Bowl, for us to lose our starting quarterback in the first quarter and then have to play 3 quarters of just, throw whatever you can at the damn wall and see what sticks type of football. Like, that was just crazy. I know it was unexpected for Kyle, and he wasn't prepared for that. He said he had some packages and stuff ready, but why the hell wouldn't you just start running it, Kyle? Why not go straight to the Wildcat? Why wait until like the last 5 minutes of the game when it's already out of reach to start, trying to do stuff? He should have had, Juwan Jennings with a package. Juwan Jennings played quarterback. He should have had some things in the clip just in case, some emergency reserves, And I just feel like he was kind of ill prepared in that aspect. I don't blame him for the loss. I'm it's still Tyler Croft, and Hassan
Yeah,
Reddick was coming in hot. You know what I mean?
he was coming in hot, bro.
He was
Like,
coming in hot, and he went straight for the arm, and it was kind of dirty to me that he did that, because that was almost like his intention, like, I want to break this motherfucker's arm, or whatever,
ooh,
and I mean, I know the objective is to stop the ball, wherever it's at, whoever has it, but he was, I don't know, man, that was just kind of brutal. And I'm surprised it wasn't no flag on that. I mean, they called a flag. We got all those damn flags. It's like we worked perfectly into the fold of what the plan was. Overall, Philly was picked to win over us. Now, if we was to upset them, then that would have just been an upset to those that, the higher ups that had already, this preordained mission for what the, NFL, for what the Super Bowl was going to be. I mean, they had Roger Goodell taking pictures with Philadelphia fans with these big ass tickets, saying that they're going to the Super Bowl. And then when you looked at the KC and the Bengals game, they did the same, Roger Goodell, or they did the same thing and gave 2 tickets to some fans to the Super Bowl, and they were KC fans. It just kind of is like weird that they televise and show shit like that and expect us to believe that this is not like already a planned, organized kind of thing. Not the Purdy injury, but just the overall outcome and what they want to happen. I got homies that don't even watch football no more because they say that shit is fixed and it's not really, it's not real. Like, I'm tired. There's just too many things that are noticeable and obvious that make it hard for, certain people to even watch football anymore. I'm still gonna watch it, but it's just, just the obvious, man. It's just hard, man.
I
We go
got
that
you.
far, we went that hard. You know what I mean? And we should have never had Wash Johnson, pause, or Washed Johnson on the damn team to begin with. I mean,
I know.
come on, my boy.
They went with Kyle went with the guy that he had in the system last year, and
Comfort.
but he also
Kyle
never. But hear me out on this one. He never ever expected to use him. But when you went down with just Brock as your quarterback, there had to be a better option, right? There had to be a better option other than Josh Johnson.
Man, we could have did some wildcat, mixed up a few of those, mixed up a few plays and stuff like that. Just like the Christian McCaffrey pass, that he threw for a touchdown, and then Debo did it. Run that a couple of times, but Kyle decided to start running that when it was like over. He didn't. We weren't even. We weren't even able to do anything at that point to sustain any kind of momentum. So he's just like, all right, let's just do whatever now at this point. Well, you should have been doing that. You should have been doing this shit, after CMC ran that ball in the end zone. I was like, it is not over. Like that shit lit a fire under me. And I was like, okay, Christian's not going down. We're not going down. And I don't understand what was going on with the play calling after that. Josh Johnson should have got maybe a series and then got his ass up out of there. Cause, at the end of the day, when he was throwing the ball, he looked skittish. He looked hesitant. He was like, when his release and everything, you could see that he was not there. It was way too much for him. The game was bigger than this guy. You know what I'm saying? He could not handle it. Even with all of his experience and all of that, and as many teams as he's played on, that was, I mean, he was looking like, oh man, bro.
He was looking scared and timid out there. He was. I rewatched the game. I don't know what made me rewatch it, but you're right. He did not look comfortable at all. He threw a couple of passes that were complete, passes that were right in front of him. But then other than that, he looked like he was seeing ghosts and dead people out there on the football field, bro. And then he ended up getting a concussion, which he probably really started seeing ghosts and dead people. So, yeah, it was tough. It's tough to swallow. I understand the conspiracies. I understand sometimes things just don't make sense. That's kind of like where I see certain things. I'm not saying injuries are fake or whatever. I'm not saying that the game is rigged, but it's definitely some weird stuff going on. And that's not just the 49ers games. That's just football, period. It'd be weird. It'd be weird calls, weird non-calls, weird. They see what they want to see. Like stuff is what I'm trying to say. So I'm not saying it's rigged, but it does make it hard to watch. What I do is I just every game, it's a clean slate for me. So every game, this is how I handle it. Every game is a clean slate. I don't factor in none of that stuff from any previous game. I feel like it's a clean slate every game, and I'm going to get what I'm going to get from the referees, from the players, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It just makes it hard. And then the obvious, I mean, even with the NFC Championship game last year when we were playing the Rams, there was like 3 or 4, could have been even more false starts in the last 7-8 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And it was so obvious. I'm like, any other time they're throwing flags, like, so it's, the fix is in, but you can always go, we can always win against the fix. And I always said, don't leave it in the ref's hands.
Correct.
Beat the shit out the teams that we're supposed to.
Correct.
Run it up on them, put the foot on their neck, keep punching it in. Don't start playing conservative because we're up by 21. No, beat them by 35. Keep going so that the referees won't get a chance to keep that, because they can't throw 20 consecutive flags. They can't make it too obvious. They got to spread it out. I mean, we're up against more than what we know. It's not just may the best man win, a lot of the time. And I hate to, say that. I'm still going to be, I'm still keeping it locked. It's not about conspiracy. It's just what's obvious versus what's, imagination. You know what I'm saying? We all see it.
Very well said, bro. I appreciate you for calling in, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Go Niners, though, man. Let's try to keep our heads up. That was a wonderful season, man. We did some extraordinary work, and I'm just really hoping with all the transitions that we can still, come back and maintain, especially on the defensive side of the ball, because the offense is going to need to play like way better than even what we did this year. If for some reason there's any kind of drop off defensively, because the defense has really been our.
I agree.
They've been our bread and butter. All right, fam. Appreciate you as always, man.
All right, my brother. Peace out.
Stay on top. Yes, sir. Peace.
All right, let's get John on here. I gotta hurry these up. John, what's going on, baby?
What's up, bro?
Nothing much, man. I'm just I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on this particular topic. Are you one of the ones that blame Kyle, and if so, why?
I don't blame Kyle for the quarterback's injuries, bro, because there's context to each one, right? I mean, I'm not going to blame him because Jimmy thought he was a dolly and could carry 2 grown men. I'm not going to blame him for Trey making a mistake and potentially, running through the wrong gap or trying to do too much. I'm not going to blame Kyle for that shit, but I will blame Kyle for getting cute and going away from what's familiar. And that essentially is what led to a potential injury to Brock Purdy. But you could also say that Brock was holding on to the ball maybe a second too long, right? You can say a lot of things because Kroft has that play was just Kroft getting beat. Like Hassan Reddick was like 7 yards off the ball, bro.
Bro,
he rushes at like 2.8, 3 seconds. Dude's there.
That's what it was.
You just it's an unfortunate circumstance.
It's almost like he would have beat anyone. Like
anybody. And I mean, honestly, dude, it's just like if Hassan Reddick is coming, I just feel like you should be more prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go the other way.
Well, I think my thing was not even that. Why the develop play? Why not a quick throw? Why not a quick drop back, 3 second, get the ball out the hands quick? Or, you know what I'm saying? So like, why not that? It was a play action. So it was a fake handoff, first of all. So it was play action. And a lot of people were saying, we didn't even really run the ball much to do this. So why do that? Clearly Hassan didn't bite on it. And I really think the Debo decoy was what he was supposed to bite on. He was like, they ain't ran the ball yet. I'm not biting on Debo. Debo's not getting the ball. And that's what happened.
This is a run first offense. And we're not running first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we sat here for the last 4 seasons and talked about how San Francisco's run opens up the pass. we sat here and done this, dude. We've been here. We're doing the same shit over and over and over again, and it's exhausting. It's tiresome, right?
Yeah.
I just as for EMA, man, I see where he's coming from. I went to Miami in 2019, and I was partying down there around the network and what everybody was doing. And look, Jalen Hurts sells more than Brock Purdy. Patrick Mahomes was selling more than Jimmy Garoppolo in 2019. When there were fans holding these tickets, they were giving these tickets away in Miami they were San Francisco fans. They were giving tickets away to Kansas City fans. It's just when the camera's rolling, bro, it happened to be on the Kansas City fan. When I was there, I saw it, you know what I mean? But there were 3 or 4 fans getting tickets, you know what I mean? I listen, with a sports book now, Breezy, in everybody's hand, your phone is now, a sports book, and Ohio got it in last month. And the more we see these sports books popping up in every state, the more and the more, I think we're going to see. Frankly, let me be honest with you. With the way the officiating's been for the last 17 weeks of football, do you really want to be in the Super Bowl right now with this dirty garbage? I mean, it's been bad, bro. It's been bad.
I don't
know.
The officiating is crazy.
We are, bro. I think we can honestly say the officiating, and I'm not even saying for our game.
No, I'm talking about NFL.
Our game didn't even start yet. It was over for us before it fucking started. So that's out the window. You know what I mean? I'm trying to recover. I'm trying to wrap my head around what have we done to get so close and not finish. And I used to think it was just,
I think it just comes down to the quarterback, bro. Not having the mother freaking quarterback. Think about it. And the Super Bowl, Jimmy just was incompetent, in my opinion. He played well the whole game, and they changed up the pressure, and they started getting to him up front, and you're getting his balls batted down, and he's missing guys wide open. That was Jimmy. Then in the NFC Championship game, he wasn't healthy. He was injured, and he just couldn't throw a pass. And in this game, we didn't have no freaking quarterback. So it's coming down to the quarterback.
We've invested everywhere but that position, and now it's hindered us to invest in that position. We've invested everywhere.
I think you invested in the quarterback, and you have quarterbacks. Now you got to keep them healthy. So now it's time to invest into ways of protecting the quarterbacks. And so if that means offensive line or whatever, you got to keep these guys healthy, because we can't win without our quarterback. I don't know any team that can win without their quarterback. I think that's what it comes down to. The Eagles fans told me specifically, had that been Jalen Hurts, they would have lost the game. So they can't win without their quarterback. And so we should understand we can't win with whoever our quarterback is. Doesn't matter if it's Jimmy, Brock, or Trey. Without that quarterback, we wouldn't be able to win that game.
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, I accepted it when it happened, bro. I was defeated, man. I can't imagine how you felt.
I mean, hey, man, look, I was ready to go in the first quarter. I was ready to go back to my room and watch the game, because I knew if Brock didn't suit back up, it was a wrap. Yeah. And I know we tied the game, and that should say something. But let me explain to everybody who Josh Johnson is. Josh Johnson is a Band-Aid. He's just there to help try to stop the bleeding. Now you got to heal it, and when you take the Band-Aid off, it ain't gonna work. So that's what he was. He was just a bandage to kind of keep the stuff fluid, and you were hoping your starting quarterback could come back in the game at least to be able to throw the ball. And because he couldn't throw a ball, I just want to make a correction out there. Purdy was 3 for 3 until the injury. And then when he got injured, he came back in and threw that nice little – that was the toughest little screen pass I've ever seen him throw. It looked like it hurt. Then it made him 4 for 4. So he did finish the game 4 for 4.
Yeah. It's tough, bro. I mean, what are we going to do, man? I mean, we're going to bulk up the offensive line, we hope. We hope that Trey Lance can, Hey, I was watching Larry Krueger's show last night before I go, and I was listening, man, and I heard that Kasarik may there's rumor that Kasarik might go with D'Amico back to
Oh God.
Texas.
Well,
Um,
I mean,
I don't know how much validity there is to that. I mean, Kruger's an inside man, like he's got his ear close to the locker room, right?
it's
He is in the locker room.
listen, John. It's a possibility that Kyle's coaching staff can just be gutted. And if you want to talk about Kyle being good, and here's the thing that we didn't talk about this last, and Eddie, I'm gonna get you on here real quick. We didn't talk about this, but the 49ers started off slow as hell this season, and it was because the new coaching staff had to get adjusted. So imagine how we're gonna be next season. Another slow start, hopefully another strong finish. You got all these coaches leaving. First and foremost, defensive coordinator. And then that coordinator is going to probably try to bring in his guys that he feels can help him run his defense. See what I'm saying? So hopefully that's what happens, but there's going to be some adjusting, and players are going to have to adjust to the new coaches. It's going to be awkward. So Larry Kruger, whoever the insider is there's a possibility that Krosirik can be going with D'Amico. I don't see why he would, but because he's not going to get he doesn't want to be anything else but a defensive line coach, and maybe he's just not challenged here anymore, and he's going to go to a team that will definitely be challenging because they have nothing.
Sometimes, bro, I think that we look at it from a football perspective, and we're not looking at it from like a financial perspective. Living in California is ridiculous. Living in Texas is like substantially less, right? I mean, the cost of living is substantially less. That being said, Kasarik has become like a household name in California. I mean, this guy is notoriously known for preparing our men. So I don't know, bro. I thought it was a little concerning when Trent Williams was contemplating, but you know what? Let him go into the offseason. Let him get his rest. Let him chill out, unless he knows that there's a great deal of change coming, on both ends of the ball, and maybe he's just not trying to rally behind a young Trey Lance to work it out, and get it figured out. And, I don't know, man. It's tough being a Niner fan, bro.
It is, man. It is. But this is what happens when you're good. So, guys, this is a good thing because when you're good, your coaches are gone. Your coaches leave. And so the question is, what will Kyle Shanahan do to replenish his staff? That'll be a show. I'm not doing any more shows here because the internet is trash. So I've never experienced Marriott internet this bad. This is the worst I've ever experienced. We never.
You've been pretty solid, bro. I mean, give or take, what maybe on your end you see it, but you on our end you're pretty fluid.
Yeah,
there's been a hiccup for a second, but it ain't.
I hate hiccups. We don't do hiccups. Hiccups suck. But anyway, let me get Eddie G on here because I got to get to this field. It's like a 15-minute drive, and
all right, my man. I appreciate you,
bro. All right, man. Peace. Eddie G, what's good, baby?
How you doing, Wayne?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good, man. I'm out here scouting some of this new talent that's going to be coming into the NFL, so I'm excited.
Yes, sir, and I'm damn proud you're out there representing our team, bro. It's awesome to see you, man.
Appreciate it, man. Shout out to everybody else that's out there. I know Steph is out here. Steph Sanchez, Eric Crocker is out here. Kyle is out here. There's a bunch of us out here, so it's pretty cool. When I get to the field, hopefully I'll be able to get up with them. I think Johnny Dell's coming today as well. He's probably already here, and I'm late, but it's all good. What's going on?
Hey, man, it's like you said, it's tough being a Niner fan, but the bright side, like you said, is we're good. So, we do have things to look forward to. I know it's
Absolutely.
hard to. That was a tough loss. As soon as Brock went down, I looked at my son and I was like, "Hey, we lose this game." But he goes, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I don't think he's coming back." And Josh Johnson had no business on that field. I know he's our fourth stringer, and that's who we had to put in there. But it seems like he's a good guy. But that snap bounced off the back of his hand. It didn't even hit his palms.
It's funny. We have not even talked about the fumble. That was the game changer.
Mm-hmm.
Like that right there sealed the deal.
Yeah. It was bad enough we're sitting here watching, and they tied it, and I was like, okay, it's still a game. But yeah, I was just like, this is just not good. And as soon as he fumbled, and then they scored before half, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Halfway through the third quarter, I had to work Sunday night, so I was like, I told my son, I said, I love you, son, but I'm going to bed. I can't watch this.
Oh man,
and it sucks, and I hate feeling that way. And I'm not one of those ones blaming Kyle totally.
Okay.
I think a lot of people jumped on that. I know I watched Chapman on my way to work that night, and John was upset about the play call. I get it. And then you kind of watch the play, and I saw what you saw, and I'm like, oh, if Brock would have just stepped up.
He had
two steps.
He had a split second to step in that pocket. Just a split.
And
he might even avoided the sack.
It's Hassan Reddick, but Croft had pushed him enough outside.
He was pushing him outside.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a bad. The result of the play was terrible. I just wish it was a regular sack because he probably wouldn't have got hurt and we just would have gave up the sack.
Yeah. And you can't. There's a lot of things that happen on play. I saw tweets about people mad at Hassan Reddick because he played the ball.
Yeah,
our defensive players would have done the same thing. So it was just the bottom line was it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate that matchup couldn't take place because an injury happened. It happens. It's football.
I agree with you 100%, bro. 100%. Couple of questions I'm gonna ask you. So Alpha 45 says, why wasn't it open season on Hurts? They took both of our guys out. Charles Haley and Lawrence Taylor would have never let that fly. Man, he's bringing back the good old football, man.
That's a different era, though, man.
It was a different era, but you got to look at the complement pieces on both of those teams. And so there's no complement piece to Nick Bosa. I know D Ford was no one wants to talk about D Ford, but man, was he the perfect complement for Nick Bosa? Perfect complement.
Yeah.
They had no idea how that, because if he can get to the quarterback and he contained very well as well. We just don't have that. And so you can't tee off when you got 3 linemen or 2 linemen and a tight end blocking one defensive end, and your other guy just can't beat the guys on the other side in their one-on-ones. Yeah. I'm sitting here paying attention to one-on-ones this week because I'm trying to see who's strong, who's got moves, who's quick, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. One-on-ones matter because sometimes you are one-on-one.
Yes.
7-on-7s matter.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
So to me, that's the answer to that question. Here's another good one. You take a crack at this. He says, why does every 49ers content creator overlook the offensive line? This beep is as frustrating as most fans calling Kyle Shanahan and going into his 7th year with more than a handful of injured quarterbacks. I don't think I know I'm personally not overlooking the offensive line. I don't think they're great. I mean, I feel like the 2 best offensive lines that we faced this season, y'all gonna be mad at me for saying this. Well, the 3 best were the Cowboys, the Eagles, and I hate to say it, the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with you. The Raiders were supposed to be a lot better than what they did this season. I mean, what did we talk about at the beginning of the season with the AFC West alone? Like, oh, good Lord, that's stacked.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look at who the only real – I mean, I'm not going to say that the Chargers were fake. They had some issues at the end. Didn't work out for them, and the Chiefs are the Chiefs. So it's but the Raiders have very good pieces, and that line is very good. I'm not overlooking our offensive line. Not at all.
I feel like we need better pieces.
Yeah.
It's Trent Williams and then it's trash. I don't want to say the word trash because they're not trash. I'm just saying it's Trent. Okay. Here's the perfect analogy. It's Trent Williams and then it's just like mediocre. On defensive, it's Nick Bosa and then it's mediocre. I'm sorry. That's the issue. And so unless you get some balance, offensively, I personally feel that we would be okay if they brought back Mike McGlinchey. And I know nobody wants that, and I'm sorry, but you upgrade the center position.
No, I want McGlinchey back. See, this is where I know people, and I get upset at McGlinchey too.
He was good in the beginning of the season, fair.
Mm-hmm.
He started to tail off to me toward the end of the season. And it could be because it was just his first season. I don't think Aaron Banks was elite. I think he played really good, but compared to Trent Williams, that's elite. Yes. Aaron Banks was good and he's up and coming, and I think his third year is going to be even better. I think that first year was kind of like his rookie year. And I think because the season was so long, his play started to tail off a tad bit. But then after that, I mean, Spencer Burford had good moments. Daniel Brunskill had good moments. Mike McGlinchey had good moments. But the talent is what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The talent is just like, man, Trent was all pro when they drafted him in Washington. And then he's just been that ever since. I just feel like the rest of the line, we need one more piece to anchor that line. And I think the piece is center. You get the center in there, that's going to upgrade. It's going to give a boost. If you get the right center, it's going to boost up your guards and your right tackle. I just personally feel like that's what's going to happen. But and I think that's
agree.
What I hate to say this, but Alex Mack retiring was crucial for the 49ers.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Terradome was screaming about it on NBN after the game. He said it's a protection problem, and he said everybody seemed to agree. Alex Mack not being there, he called and changed protections. He was that guy on the line. Brindell's not that guy, and to have a rookie to his right, and Aaron Banks had some big shoes to fill. I mean, Trent and Lincoln Tomlinson on the left side were solid.
They were connected. They
were solid, bro. That was, you weren't getting through on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron Banks, he's not bad, but like you said, this was his first full season.
I felt like he had a first good 10 games, and then after that, it just started to go down a little bit each game.
Yeah, and Mike McGlinchey has been up and down. You know, everybody talks about the Cowboy game where he got thrown, and then the play where CMC scored our touchdown, and he took down two guys. Well, that's the problem. What do you see on the left side? Trent doesn't get thrown at all. Have you ever seen Trent thrown?
No.
Okay. No. So, and Mike McGlinchey, I mean, you guys have already said it before, and I agree with you. It is hard to find. It's hard to go out and find a tackle and just put him in the system and put him on this line and all of a sudden be good. You have to find somebody on that caliber who's up there with Trent, like you just said. The talent has to be there.
I agree.
And
I think the talent's there. I just think it wasn't developed yet. Like I think
about what this O-line's been through, bro. We've been through now 4 quarterbacks this season. How hard is that for the line to have to adjust? They were like, okay, Trey's the guy. Okay, Trey's hurt week 2. Now we got to adjust back to Jimmy. Jimmy gets hurt. Okay, now we got this new guy who came in and he did wonderful. Hats off to Brock. He did great. So for that offensive line, I mean, that's up and down too. So I don't know. I know it's hard to watch our team go that far 2 seasons in a row, come up short. It really is. I mean, I'm hurting too. Yeah. But you gotta think about things like that. They have to.
I agree. I agree 100%. I'm gonna answer a couple of these questions off the air, but I do appreciate you for jumping on with me, bro.
Hey man. Hey, it's you guys you've been great this season, Breezy. I appreciate everything you do. It was awesome to meet you guys in Atlanta this year. I hope we can, meet up again this next season. My son's already bugging me. He saw the schedule. I was like, we don't have a schedule yet. We just have opponents. He wants to go to another game. He's ready. My son is hooked on football.
Oh no, he just jumped out.
Sorry.
Okay,
sorry.
I thought that was my connection.
Somebody tried to call me, but not gonna waste any time. Get out to that field. Find us some good players, my brother. I love you.
All right, man. Love you too. Peace out. So case 49, you said we had a better record, and we did. And it's not. I'm not saying that the offensive line sucked. I'm saying that the offensive line, when they went up against an inferior defensive line, looked weak. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So it's not that they sucked, but when you played the Eagles, it looked like we sucked. And a lot of it was because of the quarterback. I'm sure Brock would have been able to do some things or whatever. But hey, man, at the end of the day, what happened. So our record was better. I never said that the offensive line sucked. I'm just saying that the talent from Trent down is a big drop off. Just like on the defensive line, the talent from Nick Bosa down is a huge drop off. The question stimulated from, hey, why didn't we get after Jalen Hurts? I mean, hey, you know what they did? The 49ers contained them very well in that game. It's just they could not get him down. They couldn't because they didn't want to give up lanes so that he could take off and run. They didn't want to over pursue. They had to stay committed to containment. And so they had to do those things. But at the end of the day, I feel like the offensive line can get better. And that's what football is all about. You just got beat. And so now how are you going to get better in the offseason? And that's what the 49ers are going to be looking to do. And it's going to start with the coaching. I got a couple of contributions that I definitely want to read that I did not get to. So let me go ahead and get to. Sean sent a couple of contributions in, 3 to be exact. I definitely want to read these. He says, I like this. Breezy taking senior citizens bowling. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all. As long as they pay for me to bowl so I could beat them, I'm down. Thank you for the contribution. He also says, come on, Breezy. McButt Clinchy looked like he had a turtle head in preseason. Then he was prairie dogging regular season. When do you see offensive linemen jumping like that? Bro, he was limping. What were we doing? Listen, he's coming off of that nasty injury. And I felt like the beginning of the season took him a little bit of time. But then he stopped giving up sacks. But he was still making bonehead mistakes. I'm not saying McGlinchey is the answer at right tackle. I just think that can the 49ers get better at right tackle? For sure. Get a younger guy in there. Maybe a guy not as tall. Maybe a guy that can just has a better lower sense of gravity, can get up underneath some of these defensive linemen that are short and stout and trying to run you over strong. I don't know. But if they did decide to bring him back, I get it. Maybe the 49ers get back to his run blocking schemes, which is what he was great at. Kyle is like the guy that rides dirty, pushes it, rides with no insurance, and then is surprised when he totals his car and is ticketed. Look, Kyle is different. I get it, Sean. Kyle is a different type of guy, but he's our head coach, and we gotta ride out. It's not even a storm. It's like, damn it, we got here again and we lost. That's all it was. Jacqueline wants to let everybody in the world know she is not watching the Super Bowl, period. I got to watch the Super Bowl because I'm more in for it for the entertainment now. It's nostalgic for me as well, but they better be some damn good commercials this year. All right, that's what I'm looking for. Some damn good commercials. And then the halftime show, Rihanna. It's gonna be pretty cool. And then DJ Malone says the silver lining is that the silver lining in this is that it's Trey Lance's team going forward. Is it wrong that I want us to have 3 quarterbacks dressed? It's a great question. We'll end the show with that particular question. No, I don't think it's wrong. As a matter of fact, the league, you heard some people talking about it. They said that the league should have 3 quarterbacks dressed to where it doesn't count against that 53 and just have one guy as an emergency quarterback. So that way it doesn't change the game so drastically. You know what I mean? Look, going into Josh Johnson, you dealt with it. But then who I don't know. It's a tough thing. We'll see what the new rules are going to be. I don't know. But guys, I appreciate you guys for rocking out with me. I got to get to this field. I'm late and I didn't eat yet. So I got to stop and get me something on the way, which means it's going to probably have to be some type of fast food. I see people saying bringing in Matt Ryan. Hey, whatever Kyle Shanahan tends to want to do, I'm going to go ahead and support it. I might not agree with it until I see it. But, hey, right now we need to get us a defensive coordinator and start filling this coaching staff. So don't expect to hear much from Kyle Shanahan as of right now. He is all about filling that coaching staff and making sure that this team doesn't steer too far away from the vision, which had them again in the NFC Championship. It's been a real one, guys. That's going to be it for the week. I want to get home and do my shows. This internet ain't it. And I'm sorry, but yeah. I may go live tomorrow. I don't know, but I don't like the internet here. It's pissing me off. Love y'all. John V says, DeJuan Jones, get that boy on the show. He wasn't here yesterday. He was here the day before. And man, he looked really okay. So here's my take on DeJuan Jones. He looked really good in his one-on-ones, but he didn't look that solid in 11-on-11s. Big mammoth of a guy. He's like 6'8", 300 and whatever, how many pounds. Wingspan is like Giannis Antetokounmpo, whatever his name is. Yeah, it's out there. Always trouble saying that name. Somebody, Kylie, you asked me about a defensive lineman. I do not want to jack his name up, but check out the interior lineman from Northwestern. I said Adebawar Adetomiwa. I think that's how you say his name. Check him out. He looked really good out there. All right. Check him out. All right. Guys, love y'all. Stay up, stay faithful, always keep it nitty-gritty. And I'll see you guys when I see you guys. It's been real. Peace out. Thanks for watching.